Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another daily Q&A. Now the lights are just about to go off here. You can see I think they just went off on the tub there. It's pretty late, but I promised you guys that I would try to create some content. Yesterday I went ahead and got my teeth taken out and kind of ready because I'm going to do like a partial denture here soon. It's like I call them Steve-O teeth. I'm just going to be able to take them in and out for when I fight. I can take them out and not have to worry about getting them knocked out anymore. But I had some messed up when we got in an accident in Afghanistan, messed up this one got knocked out, so I'm just kind of filling in the gaps and so I don't turn into Gumby. So in about 6 to 8 weeks I can go ahead and get that stuff taken care of. But either way, yeah, so I can talk, my face isn't swollen, there's actually no pain. I had to pass on the pain medicine because of the fight coming up. I didn't want that stuff in my system, so yeah, no pain, nothing, pretty good. Not mad about it, for sure. I'm not complaining. Yeah, so before we get into today's email, I just want to give you guys a quick update. We are doing a sale, or we, it's me and my other 10 personalities that work down here with me throughout the day. Either way, doing a sale. It's going to be New Year 20% for 20% off the entire website. I am also doing the 20-piece frag pack for 300 shipped. I'm only doing a few more of those. I had a couple already go out today. It's kind of one of those limited time. When I have the stock, I try to put them in stock. And yeah, so those are available. If it's out of stock or it goes back to 15, that means that I ran out of the extra coral that I usually put in those. So just keep that in mind. Now the last thing before we get into this question is I want to let you guys know that I will be transitioning over to emails. Some of you guys were mentioning that you don't like the fact that the videos are only like 3 to 5 minutes long. So if I move over to more email questions, which are usually tend to be longer than what you can leave in the comment section of one of these videos, I can extend the video out a little bit longer, or I can just do 2-minute intros like I am now, and you know, try to get to that 7 or 8 minutes that you guys prefer. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move over to this question, which is from Joel. He says, Travis, I'll try to keep this short. My tank is 8 months old. Have some softies and some monties. I have 5 fish and some cleanup crew. If you guys are wondering why I'm blinking, this ring light is nice, but it is like, it is a lot on the eyeballs here. Somebody brought that up too. So I have very low nitrates between 0 to 1. I backed off my water changes and my alk has dropped to 6.8 DKH as a result. I was thinking of dosing Kalkwasser, but my calcium is high at around 450 ppm. Any advice on what to do? Corals look okay. Got some zoas, some have died and some are growing. Got a couple of leathers that are doing good. Got some monties that aren't doing so hot. My salt is good and my phosphates are good. Should I be worrying about my low nitrates and up my water changes to get the alk up? Is there something else I can dose? Question mark. This is the short version, believe it or not. If you need any more info, let me know. So I'm going to try to go through this piece by piece and try to give you the best answer that I possibly can. So the first thing you mentioned is that you stopped doing water changes because your nitrates got too low. So you were doing water changes originally to keep your alkalinity elevated. That's, so I'm assuming that's why you were doing those water changes. Now before I answer the question, I almost wonder if maybe your test kits are a little off, because you said you didn't mention what your alk was, but I mean, you didn't. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you did mention. I see you said that your alk was 6.8 DKH, but your calcium was 450. Makes me wonder if maybe your test kits are off, or you said your salt's good, but is it that good? Because that seems kind of off balance. Usually people who have low alkalinity also have relatively low calcium, unless something else is off, like either you're dosing calcium when you shouldn't be, or you're not dosing alk and you're only dosing calcium, or your salt just is a bad mix and you have high calcium in there. So, or your test kits are junk and you're getting a false reading. I'm just cracking my back here. Ugh. Went to physical therapy and it still hurts. Yeah. So I just food for thought on that. Now moving over to what you should do. So if your nutrients are low, like you said, your phosphates are fine. You didn't say what they were, but you said they were fine. But your nitrates are low. You can dose NO3 and PO4, which I have on my website, FishOfHex.com. So you can dose nitrates and phosphates while you're doing your water changes to keep that stuff elevated. Now, what I want to mention is if you're doing a lot of water changes to keep your alkalinity level, that means it's probably time to switch over to another method to elevate your alkalinity and your calcium. Now, I know you mentioned that you wanted to do Kalkwasser, which you could still do. As for your high level of calcium, I really wouldn't worry about that too much. I would focus primarily on your alkalinity, and they'll balance themselves out in time. So what I would do, just to kind of sum this up to make it a little bit easier to understand, because I am bouncing around a little bit here, is I would go ahead and start dosing nitrates and phosphates. Again, you can find that on a website. You can find them on BRS, or there's other websites out there that have them. But either way, start dosing nitrates and phosphates to keep those levels elevated. You can continue water changes if you want, but I would start implementing kalkwasser or something like 2-part. I find 2-part to be a little bit easier, just because you don't have to rely on like a reactor or a ATO pump or evaporation or anything like that. You can just dial it in with the dosing pump itself, or manually every day by hand, which is probably, depending on the size of your tank, is probably not a bad idea. But either way, you could start implementing 2-part to get those levels back up. You can either do the water changes if you want to continue to do it that way, but then definitely starting to dose nitrates and phosphates to keep those levels where they should be is a good idea. So I'm assuming, because your alkalinity is relatively low, it's not horrible. I mean, I've had this tank lower than that. I try not to keep it there for very long, but it happens. And so I'm assuming with your alkalinity being pretty low and you having lower nutrients, that's where you're getting your coral stress for your SPS. So low nutrients and really low alkalinity are definitely not a good combination. It could be worse. It could be really low nutrients and really high alkalinity, which I find is a lot worse, at least in my situation. And yeah, so dose nitrates and phosphates. Start using a method other than water changes to increase your alkalinity and your calcium. And I would also double check your test kits, because some of these numbers seem a little off, but it doesn't hurt to double check. And if you're using something cheap for any of these test kits, I recommend you move on to Hana checkers or Red Sea or something like that. A little bit higher quality than just like a basic whatever that one is that comes in the box that has the little vials. Somebody put it in the comments section, I don't remember. But yeah, so just go ahead and start doing that. Other than that, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah, I know that this email was from September of 2021. I do apologize. I told you I'm trying to keep up on these, and hopefully you figured it out. If you watch this video, I know I emailed you and told you I was going to put a video out on this topic. If you want to email me again or just reply in the comment section here, I'll be happy to dive into this a little bit farther with you and help you out. So, with that said, guys, that's it for the video. Sorry for the long intro, but I wanted to just kind of get this information out to you. Again, I will be moving over to more emails so we can extend these videos out. And if you have any questions, you can either email me at fishofhex@gmail.com, or put your question in the comment section. I know there's a certain amount of characters you can put in there, max. And I'm going to get one of these videos out at least 3 to 5 times a week, because I know you guys are asking. Then we're going to move on to like some DIY stuff, because I still want to do that. All right, until next time, peace.